Okay, so let's dive into what's really going on in the world of Foundation. Yeah, on the surface, it's this huge sci-fi epic, right? You've got the spaceships, the sprawling galactic empires, all that good stuff. But if you look just a little deeper, you'll see it's telling a powerful story, not just about the future, but about the very core of what makes us human.
What if I told you that the entire central premise of the show, the secret that's driving every single character's decision, isn't actually about predicting the future?
It's really about our desperate, almost primal need for control. The need to control our fate, our society, and maybe most of all, to control ourselves.
And that leads to the one question that really just beats at the heart of this entire series. It pits these massive, galaxy-spanning systems against that tiny, unpredictable spark of a single person. And believe me, the answer is anything but simple.
So let's start with the big one, Hari Seldon and his incredible, almost godlike creation, Psychohistory. This is really where that whole illusion of control gets started.
On paper, this is the ultimate tool, right? It's a mathematical formula that can literally chart the course of humanity for thousands of years. It promises total certainty in a universe that is defined by chaos. That sounds like absolute power, doesn't it?
Well, this is where the show gets really, really clever. Because the true power of Psychohistory, it's not what you think it is.
So the perception is that it's all about control, like you're pulling the strings of humanity itself. But the reality? It's way more subtle. Psychohistory doesn't control people's minds. It operates on one massive assumption, that if you have enough people, their behavior becomes predictable. Seldon isn't some puppet master. He's more like a gambler, playing the odds on a cosmic scale.
And that, right there, is the system's greatest weakness. The entire model is built on the behavior of the crowd. But history, as we know, is so often changed by that one person who just refuses to go along with it. Which, interestingly enough, brings us to the other side of the power equation, the Galactic Empire.
Let's talk about the genetic dynasty. The Empire's version of control isn't through prediction, it's through replication. They've built a system designed to literally stamp out individuality altogether.
Think about it. The genetic blueprint says they are the exact same person, destined to repeat the exact same life over and over. But lived experience, every unique conversation, every private fear, every unexpected feeling, it starts to corrupt the code. It turns out identity is so much more than just genetics.
And that's the key takeaway here. No matter how rigid you make the system, that messy, unpredictable human part of us, it will always find a way to break through. Psychologically speaking, it's our fundamental need to be the authors of our own story, and that is an unstoppable force.
So why? Why go to these incredible lengths to control everything? Why build cloning dynasties and brutally suppress any dissent? Well, it all boils down to one single, incredibly powerful emotion: fear.
See, for the Empire, chaos isn't just a bit of disorder, it's an existential threat. It means losing their power, which is completely tied to their identity as rulers, and maybe the most terrifying thing of all, it means losing control of their own destiny.
And isn't that a deeply, deeply human fear? It's not really about losing. It's about not knowing what's coming next. The unknown is like a giant void, and we, as people, will do almost anything to avoid falling into it.
We see this in our own lives constantly. We build routines, we make rules, we create systems, all to give us a sense of predictability. In a way, the Empire's massive, galaxy-spanning project is just our own fundamental human desire to control the uncontrollable, just scaled up.
And all of this brings us to the central conflict of the entire series. This is the ultimate psychological showdown, and it's playing out across generations.
On one side, you have determinism. That's the cold, hard math of psychohistory and the genetic blueprint of the clones. It's the idea that your path is already set in stone. But on the other side, you have free will. And that's represented by characters like Gail Dornick, whose choices are driven by things you just can't calculate. Things like intuition, emotion, and love.
And this is the show's powerful counterargument. Really. You can predict the tide, sure. But you can never, ever predict the one person who decides to build a boat and just sail right against it.
So, when you strip away all the complex math and all the imperial politics, what is Foundation really trying to tell us about power and control?
Well, the takeaway is pretty clear. First, systems are always built to control people. Second, the power that runs those systems will always try to make itself permanent. But third, and most importantly, Both of those things are ultimately broken by the one variable they can never truly account for: the beautiful, chaotic unpredictability of human nature.
What the show is suggesting is that real strength isn't found in a perfect prediction or a flawless genetic copy. No, it's found in the courage it takes to make an unexpected choice, to defy the model, to be the one single variable that changes the entire equation.
And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. It's the ultimate question that Foundation asks, not just of its characters, but of us. If every single choice you made could be known in advance, if the story of your life was already written, what would even be the point of living it?